Welcome to the 80sist, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally legendary 80s thing since Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off of a live bat in 1982. In Cleveland, Ohio, I'm Keith Barsteller. Joining me from Seattle, Washington, it's the creator of the 80sist. You know him, he's my longtime friend. He is my co-host. And as a vegetarian, he only bites the heads off of tofu bats these days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith. Listen, man, I started therapy recently.
You did? Oh, well, congratulations, I guess. I really hope you are getting something out of it.
I mean, yeah, no, I feel like I am. Dr. Clamato introduced me to the concept of radical honesty, and I've really embraced it.
Huh. Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, and I want to bring some of that energy onto the show today.
Oh, yeah, okay. How do you propose to do that?
By telling you that you need to change your haircut.
I need to change my haircut.
Keith, you've had the exact same haircut since Kent State.
Well, I mean, I like to think of it as a classic.
No, it's just tired, man. See, before Dr. Clamato, I would have been too worried about upsetting you to say that.
Oh. Well, you don't need to worry about me. Why, I'm not upset. I'm not so upset at all.
Keith, are you crying?
No, I'm not crying. I'm making onion rings while we podcast. And these Walla Wallas are pungent.
Keith, I feel like you're being dishonest with me, and yourself.
Fuck you, Joe. Fuck you and fuck Dr. Clamato and fuck therapy.
You're being something of a Tom Cruise, Keith.
Fair enough.
You know what? It's not your fault.
Oh, God damn it, Joe. Do not fuck with me.
Oh, shit.
Just
because it's not written in there doesn't mean we can't.
Doesn't mean we can't say it.
Sneak it in.
Oh, man. Wow. Well, we've got a jam-packed show today. Welcome back to the 80sist, everybody.
Welcome back.
By the way, my hair part has moved about an inch from the center to my left side in 30 years or so. So it's slightly different. It's migrated over.
Keith, that was the character of Joe.
Oh, I see.
That. Not the real.
It is pretty similar, though. I can't.
Oh yeah, no, I can see where you might be confused by it. I get it.
Oh man. Well, today it's our 17th show of season 3.
All right then.
And Joe, sometime over this past week, we hit our 1-year mark as a podcast. So happy anniversary, man.
Happy anniversary. That
We
snuck
did
up on me.
It snuck up on you. It snuck up on me.
Is that the paper anniversary?
That would be the paper anniversary. You're exactly right.
Nice.
And in that year, Joe, we've done a lot, haven't we? We've
recorded a lot of podcasts, man.
We've got like 142 episodes in the bag.
Wow.
27,000 downloads.
Good Lord.
And, that's where we're sitting at. So just wanted to say thanks to everybody who has kept us here by continuing to listen and comment and vote. And
yeah, and become part of our little 80sist family. So thank you.
Yeah, and to all the new folks, welcome aboard. And we're going to give you the best. Yeah, exactly. We're glad to have you. We're going to give you the best podcasting has to offer, Joe.
That's right. What is that?
That is where we're going to take 2 pop songs from the 1980s and we're going to look at them, and you and I are going to impotently discuss them and then haphazardly vote. And then
I'm sorry, that's the best that podcasting has. Podcasting does not have a lot to offer, man.
No, it really doesn't. But we have the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I once worked in overnight radio. We've talked about it a little bit before. And I on Sunday mornings, I would run the board for these folks, and it was for the music of your life. It was for these old-timey dudes, okay?
Yeah.
One of them was named Pete Katavoulis. Rest in power, Pete. He was a Greek gentleman who did a Greek show.
With that name?
I know. He did a show up with Greek music, and he ran ads where people would basically just hand him cash when he was at a restaurant, and he would then mention the restaurant on the air. But anyway, he would say things like, he had something I call the Katavoulian theorem. He would say in his ad, he would be like, "You are the best, and the best is the best. And the best is for you at Charlie's Crab." Anyway.
That's deep, man.
So the best is the best. And this show is the best, and the best is for you, the
That's
listener.
some True Detective season 1 kind of dialogue there.
That's right. Anyway, Joe, today we're going to continue the first round of the Michael Jackson region. And
Shimon!
It is wait, do I have? Oh no, I have Prince isolated. I don't have Michael yet.
It's okay. I'll take Prince any day.
Yeah. Joe, it's going to be the 4 against the 13.
All right.
Today, and we're going to discuss that one in the Tale of the Tape. Bye.
2 songs enter. 1 song leaves.
It's the Tale of the Tape. He's out.
Well, Keith, that number 4 seed is Against All Odds. Take a Look at Me Now by Phil
subtitle.
Collins.
Yeah.
It's from the album Against All Odds, music from the original motion picture soundtrack. The release date is February 1984. On the Billboard Hot 100 chart, it reached number 1 and stayed there for 3 powerful weeks, becoming Phil Collins' first number 1 hit in the U.S.
Wow.
Honors?
Yeah.
You looking for honors?
Sure.
How about Grammy Award for Pop Male? 1. Grammy nomination for Song of the Year. Didn't win, but had it. Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song. Lost to Stevie Wonder's I Just Called to Say I Love You.
What?
Golden Globe nomination for Best Original Song.
Damn.
Also lost that. Billboard ranked it as the 5th best-selling single of 84.
84 is
I mean,
huge,
it was really close.
Yeah,
to
but
a lot
that's a
of,
huge year in music. That's Purple
Yeah.
Rain. That's Born in the USA. That's Like a Virgin. That's a huge year of music to be number 5. That's
true.
Anyway. And that's 1984 by Van Halen. Also came out in 1984. So anyway.
That's a lot.
Well, so that's pretty formidable challenger, or I guess not the challenger, but the champion or the whatever.
The overdog?
Favorite. Overdog. But do not completely discount our 13 seed. Despite his height, he stands tall in the music industry. I'm talking about 13 seed Young Turks by Rod Stewart from his album Tonight I'm Yours. This was released early in the 80s, Joe, October of 81.
That's right.
This guy shot up to number 5 on the Hot 100 and sat right there for 3 straight weeks.
Unable to break through.
Could not quite break through, but it kind of maintained its popularity. And it did spend 19 total weeks on the charts.
Okay.
So none of these Grammys, Academy Awards, Golden Globes for this song. However, it's a top 5 hit and a long-lasting one for Rod Stewart. So, so there you go. I will now play, Joe, about a minute and a half of each of these guys.
Sounds good.
Whew. And here we go with just prepare yourself emotionally for Against All Odds.
All right.
Take a look at me
I'm
now.
punching myself in the balls right now.
Here we go.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every So take a look at me now. There's just an empty space. There's nothing left here to remind me. Just a memory of your face. Oh, take a look at me now. There's just an empty space. And you coming back to me is against the odds. And that's what I've got to face. I wish I could
All
just
right, I'm
make
going to cut it
turn
off
around.
there. Had to get that little drum, air
Of
drumming
course
in.
you did.
And then,
Let your air drum freak on.
that's right. And now, a minute and a half of Young Turks.
Living at this home with a dollar in his pocket and a head full of dreams. He said somehow, someway, it's gotta get better than this. Party packs her bags, left a note for her mama. She was just 17. There were tears in her eyes when she kissed her little sister goodbye. They held each other tight as they drove them through the night. They were so excited. We got but one shot at life, let's take it while we're still not afraid. Because life is so brief, and time is a thief when you're undecided. And like a fistful of sand, it can slip right through your hands. Young hearts be free tonight. Time is on your side. Don't let them put you down. Don't let them push you around. Don't let them ever change your point of view.
All right, so that's where we're going to call that one. About a minute and a half of that one. So now we've heard them back to back to try to assess their 80s-ness, but...
Or asses.
Right, or asses, their 80s-ness. But before we get to arguing about them, let's make the case for each of these artists being legends and who brought this to our doorstep in...
Joe, it's only proper etiquette to light a match after dropping a deuce like that song.
Keith, that song makes me yearn for the sweet, sweet release of death.
We're getting deep in the barrel of these No One
man.
Is to Blames, man. There's only one left that we haven't played yet this season.
It is a mystery to me what that one is because, again, no memory of that whatsoever. All right. Our number 4 seed, Phil Collins, is the 15 overall seed out of 64.
Right.
I gave him 33 points. Keith, you gave him 11. So joint responsibility, but 3 times more from you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. In the 1980s, Phil Collins was a juggernaut, or juggernaut.
As the Germans would say.
Yeah, I'm going to say it from that way from now on. He was a juggernaut.
Okay.
With a staggering 15 solo top 40 hits, including 7 number 1 singles. And that's not even talking about Genesis, man.
That's not even talking about Genesis.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so he hit, with In the Air Tonight, hit number 19 in 1981.
Oh,
Which,
you know this one.
Oh, yeah. We remembered fondly in side A. We had Missed Again. I Missed Again in 1981, also number 19.
Yeah, this is what goes kind of like
And
this.
In 1982, he inexplicably hit number 10 with You Can't Hurry Love.
Now that's weird.
Right?
Yeah.
The following year, he only hit number 39 with I Don't Care Anymore, which strikes me as odd. Because this seems like it would have been a bigger hit.
I agree. Yeah.
Then finally, he broke through in 84 with the song we're talking about tonight, Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now.
Yeah.
Which began the more successful phase of his career. He recorded Don't Lose My Number in 1985, and it hit number 10. And then the inexplicably titled Susudio in 1985 was a number 1 hit.
Now, hang on. Let's get to it.
I know what the fuck that means.
No, nobody does.
Yeah. In 1986, he had Take Me Home, which hit number 7. And then going back in time to 1985, he hit with One More Night, which reached number 1.
That's right.
He hit number 2 with Easy Lover, his duet with Philip Bailey.
Oh, man. Personal favorite for me. Love this
classic.
song. Let's see. Let me get you to a good part of this. Here we go.
She's an easy lover. She'll take your heart, but you won't feel it. She's
Yeah.
like no other.
She's like no other.
No, nothing.
You'll see.
Another duet, Separate Lives, with Marilyn Martin hit number 1 in 85.
Oh, now we're living separate lives.
In 1988, he had the song with my least favorite title, probably in music history, A Groovy Kind of Love.
Oof.
Baby, you and me got a groovy kind of love.
Fuck you, Phil. And also in 88, he had Two Hearts, which hit number 1.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Mine, you know it's too hard. Living just one night.
The following year, he hit number 1 again with Another Day in Paradise.
Oh, think twice, 'cause it's another day for you. You and me in paradise.
And then from an 89 released album, but not hitting until January 1990, he had I Wish It Would Rain Down, which reached number 3, just outside of the 80s.
Yeah, this charted in the 80s, but it didn't peak until January of 90. So
Got
I think it counts. Like it was on the top 40 in the 80s. It peaked
I'll accept
in
that.
the first day.
So this is a lot. This is a lot of top 40 hits.
That's a lot, yeah. So, anyway, I'll let this play underneath while you give further credentials, I guess.
Phil Collins also sang lead vocals for Genesis, also in this tournament, who had 7 additional top 40 hits, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010 as a member of Genesis. Despite his incredible success, he has somehow not yet been inducted as a solo act. Fuck you, Hall.
That's crazy, right? Because, yeah, many more hits in the 90s.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
He is in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He has won 8 Grammys, 3 MAs, 2 Golden Globes, 1 Oscar, and an MTV Music Video Award, and countless other shittier awards that you wouldn't care about. He is only one of 3 recording artists, along with Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, who have sold over 100 million records as solo artists, and another 100 million separately as principal members of a band.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Being part of 22 top 40 hits in the U.S. is more than any artist in the decade. If you think you were bigger than Phil Collins in the 80s, fuck you, you weren't.
There you go. Now that is a case for a fucking legend right there.
Hell
right?
yeah.
You might not vote for him, but you can't say he's not a fucking legend. That's all what I would say there. All right. Well, Joe, we got the case for Rod Stewart, our 13 seed today.
Yeah.
Now, Rod's our 50th overall seed out of 64. And just to refresh everyone's memory, Phil is the 15th. So 1-5 against 5-0.
Got it?
Joe, you ranked Rod Stewart 58th. I actually ranked him 46th, despite my verbal abuse of him. Light teasing. Anyway, the responsibility is joint, though slightly more me, again, for Rod as well. Now, Rod Stewart, you all know, you probably know anyway, know Rod Stewart from the 70s, and when he was with Faces You might remember, like, do you remember Stay With Me?
Of course.
And, you know, he also had a song called Maggie May back in the day. He also was with Jeff Beck's group back in those days. So he's had a solo career dating way back into the 60s also.
He's been around.
Yet he had 10 top 40 hits in the 1980s, Joe. 0 number ones, though.
God
However,
damn it.
I know. He had these 10. And let me know if you know these songs.
Okay.
And I'll do the same. All right, so this one's called Passion from 1980. And it hit number 5. It hit number 5.
Nope, not ringing any bells.
Yeah. This one is Young Turks, which we're talking about tonight. That one made it also to number 5 in 1981. All right, and I know that one. This one's called Tonight I'm Yours, Don't Hurt Me from 1981. It peaked at number 20 and so here we go.
This one I know.
That one I vaguely remember. He also had a hit in 1983 called Baby Jane. And here we go. It went to number 14.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm not sure I remember this one, but I definitely remember 1984's Infatuation.
Yeah, you can't not remember this one. It kind of sticks in your craw.
And Infatuation peaked at number 6 in 1984. This was a pretty big hit. Some Guys Have All the Luck. Also 1984. You remember that one?
Oh, of course.
And it goes like this. Some Guys Have All the Luck. Like I say, peaked at number 10. Then the next, actually 2 years later, he had another hit in the movie Legal Eagles called Love Touch. And this song...
A movie I weirdly remember very fondly.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
This song, Love Touch, made it to number 6 in the chart.
That looks like one of his biggest hits.
It's a big one. This one is from 1988. I was off in college. This one's called Lost in You.
Uh-oh.
And let me know if this sounds familiar.
Not really this one. I mean, maybe vaguely.
Vaguely. And then... number 9, Forever Young, Your Class Song.
That's right.
Which peaked at number 12. God, he's got a bunch in the 12, 15, 14. This went to number 12, and this is Your Class Song.
Right.
There you go. The bad or lesser of the Forever Youngs from the 80s.
Definitely lesser.
Not the worst song I've ever heard.
No.
This one is My Heart Can't Tell Me No. And,
My Heart Can't Tell Me No.
yeah.
I'm trying to parse that title.
I'm looking for... I don't know this song, so I'm looking
No, me
for...
either.
All right, let's try this.
No matter how I try to
Oh,
convince myself,
that does sound a little familiar.
lose control. One look in your sad eyes, and suddenly my heart can tell you no.
Anyway, that is the way. That is the way that Rod Stewart would close out the decade. 10th
With a whimper,
top
not a
40
bang.
hit. So, believe it or not, that song hit number 4, the one we're playing right now in the background. That's
I
his
don't believe
biggest
it.
hit.
Wow.
Young Turks, a 5, and then a bunch of, got another 5, a 6, some 10s. Anyway, here's the thing. Rod Stewart has sold 120 million albums as a solo artist. He has won a Grammy. He has been knighted by the British government, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994 as a solo act, then as a member of Faces in 2012. So, he doesn't have as many Grammys as Phil, as many awards, but he's in the Rock Hall twice, and Phil has not gotten into the Rock Hall that second time yet. So
It don't make no sense.
And so there you go. That is the case for Rod Stewart being legendary. Agree with it, disagree with it if you like. I mean, a guy who's in the Rock Hall twice, definitely a legend of the 80s. I mean, we put him in there. He had the numbers. It's hard to deny it. So
Yeah.
anyway, so there you go, Joe. Now we're going to reveal, possibly embarrassingly, whether or not we like these songs. And let's get to it. I got to be honest. This song fucking blows, Joe. All right, Joe, we're going to start with 4 Seed, Against All Odds.
Okay.
Take a look at me now. And Joe, what do you think? You like it? Dislike it? Talk to me.
Not really. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't listen to this song on its own just for the sake of listening to it. Sorry, sis.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, we keep it real on this show, and God damn it, Joe, I'm embarrassed to admit that I love this song. I don't know. It's stuck in there in 1984.
There's no shame. Dr. Clamato would want you to be honest with us. So
Yeah,
thank you.
I think it's because it was my first year of radio, and it was a massive hit.
Yeah,
having my own radio, and
Heath, you're speaking your truth, man.
And there it is. I would actively seek out this song back in the day. I mean, I don't really anymore, but but the fact is, it was there. I did like it. Now,
Nice. What about Young Turks?
well, I'll tell you, I'm not a really huge Rod Stewart fan, Joe, but this particular song, I would say I like it. I wouldn't say love, but I like it. Where do you come out on this one?
I mean, I associate this song with some fond memories, so I've got that going for it. But
Okay.
I don't love this song. I mean, it's okay. I think both these songs for me are both. I mean, like they're not like offensive. I'm probably not hitting skip
Fair
on
enough.
these, but I'm also not like taking the time to type them into a search bar.
Do you generally like Phil Collins, or not really?
I mean.
And do you generally like Rod Stewart or not really?
I owned no Phil Collins ever. I owned no Rod Stewart ever, and they were just presences on the radio.
Okay.
And because of that, they were both part of my
Right.
80s experience.
Right. Maybe against your will, but they were there. There they were.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not hitting skip, but I'm also not. Going looking for these.
All right.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Now you know how we feel about these.
Yeah.
And Joe, let's get right to the heart of the matter here. It's time to adjudicate this.
All right, for honor.
Okay. What do you got, Joe? It's time to talk about Against All Odds. Take a look at me now.
Okay. My first thing is that experientially, I have very strong memories of this because, my sister loved this song, and she would wallow after a breakup with this song because it's all about walking away and losing love, and so she would just put this on repeat.
Nice.
Which was tough with vinyl. You'd have to just keep.
You'd actually
manually,
have
physically
to get up and move the arm back to the.
That's right. And my sister's not alone in her appreciation of this song. Apparently, RZA named Against All Odds his favorite power ballad
Awesome.
in an article on such songs in Spin magazine.
We're talking about one of the founding members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
That's right.
And we know Wu-Tang is for children, but I did not know that Wu-Tang, a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, would be a Phil Collins fan. That is incredible.
I mean, if you're going to choose a power ballad, you could do worse.
Yeah, this... we have done worse. We will do worse later on. And
so much worse, y'all.
We'll do worse in the... Yeah, right.
So then, the origins of this song. It was actually written for his 1981 debut solo album Face Value, but it wasn't. It didn't end up on the album. Originally, it was called "How Can You Just Sit There," which is not a great title.
No, I definitely like the new title much better.
Right. And then director Taylor Hackford sought him out. Taylor Hackford had previously directed An Officer and a Gentleman.
Okay.
And Up Where We Belong was a big hit in that. He wanted that same kind of powerful ballad for the film Against All Odds. So he's like, hey, Phil, can you do something for me? Phil played the demo, and he's like, that's great, except the movie's not called How Can You Just Sit There? So he reworked the lyrics.
Retooled a little bit, yeah.
That's it, yeah. And then it became Against All Odds. Take a look at me now.
Take a look at me now, yeah.
Yeah, and then...
Which is a very powerful part. Like, this kind of scene happens. I don't know if have you seen this film?
I have not. We'll talk about that in a minute when we talk about the video. But yeah, no, I haven't.
Because there is a scene at the end where he really, literally is walking away, and they stop and take a look at each other. Like, it's very literally what's happening in the film.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, please continue.
On an episode of This American Life, Collins said that the song was inspired and shortly after the breakup between him and his first wife. In the interview, he says that the divorce transformed him from being a musician into also being a lyricist because, he can angry drum, but then he also has to be able to add, fuck you, Karen, fuck you, Karen, fuck you, Karen. I'm assuming his first wife was named Karen.
Named Karen? Yes.
Yeah.
Possible.
Maybe. There's lots of Karens out there.
So from a production standpoint, Against All Odds has some synth in it. He's using this classic thing also that I talked about when we talked about In the Air Tonight months and months ago. He's using this gated reverb drum sound that he invented on In the Air Tonight. He brings that back for the production here, which does give it a nice little 80s sheen to it. There's some definite reverb going on in here as well. And so it's got a lot of 80s production sound going for it. It's not Sly Fox, okay, but it's more 80s sounding than some of his, in my opinion, than Young Turks, for instance, if you wanted to compare it to another song. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's got that kind of big 80s sound.
Right. Yeah, it's got that
bombastic
grandiosity.
Kind of,
yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And I do have a needle drop that possibly could show you some of that grandiosity.
Let's hear that grandiosity.
And of course, it's way back near the end of the song. I guess I think I have the wrong number written down here, unfortunately, but let's see. It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, I'm close. All right. So here we go. Big soulful ending. Him screaming. Then he says the title. And then you get your air drum moment, Joe. And then the very hyper dramatic final Take a Look at Me Now. All right, so there you go. There's my needle drop for that song. And a definite ending, so,
Well, one thing that brings up definitely is that he does not say the title of the song until that moment at the very end.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
He says earlier, he says Against the Odds.
The Odds, that's right.
Right. Not all,
No.
but he
he's
changes.
like,
The odds have decreased during the singing of the song.
What movie is this? What movie is this? What movie? It's Against All Odds.
Against all odds. There
That's
it is. Yeah.
I mean, he does say the subtitle repeatedly. I mean, like, too much, but...
Take a look at me now. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, yes, Phil, we see you. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. All right. What else you got, Joe?
I mean, you want to talk about the video for a sec?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
He's standing
So-
in the middle of a triangle.
Right. For most of the thing, it's raining on him. It's raining. I don't know why, because it's not raining anyplace else in the video.
It's more
and then
dramatic.
in the end, he's
Makes
like
him
ankle
sadder.
deep in all this rainwater, standing in a neon triangle.
Yes. Possibly because part of the plot of the movie is a love triangle.
Okay, but I wouldn't really know. So I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
And this video does not give me fucking any idea what is going on in the movie.
No,
I mean, there's
no,
some
it-
making out. There's three people.
Yeah.
There's James Woods looking slimy. There's Jeff
And that's
Bridges.
that is his role in the film. Is like
There you go. Yeah,
he's
Jeff
kind of
Bridges looking buff and bearded, and Rachel Ward in various states of undress.
Yeah.
And then they're in they're in a Mexican pyramid.
Yep.
Then he's playing football.
Yes.
Then they're running through a cafe. Then they're making out. Then the football. Then the Mexican pyramid. Then James Woods looking slimy. And I don't get what the hell the movie is about based on this video. It just mystifies me.
It would be hard to interpret it. As someone who has seen it, but not in a very long time,
Yeah.
it's
Oh wait.
I can piece it together, but
Can I make a guess as to the plot of this movie based on the video?
all right, yeah, give it a shot.
All right, here's the deal. So, Jeff Bridges is on a football team.
That's true.
And
You got that right.
They are playing an exhibition match on top of a Mexican pyramid, and
you are
Rachel
nailing
Ward.
this.
Rachel Ward is a cheerleader for the other team.
Oh.
The owner of which said team is James Woods. And then Jeff Bridges is running in the end zone and trips on some stone on this pyramid and falls onto Rachel Ward.
That is
And that's the end of the
so
movie.
close. That is so close
Yeah.
to being dead on. I'll tell you.
All right.
There's
I thought so.
There's a moment. I don't know if I could find it in the song. I guess it's if I went back into Against All Odds. It's like it's right here in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
That in the video, Jeff Bridges throws a guy down and he falls into it. That guy he throws down rolls into a drum kit, and it's timed. It's timed with this crash. Like he's punching him and he throws him down here, and the guy with that the guy tumbles into the drum kit. And I'm like,
Nice.
oh, I caught that. I like
Did
that.
this win an MTV editing award?
Oh, I wish.
God damn it.
Yeah, it didn't. At some point I could tell you the actual plot of the movie, but I'd rather go with your version.
All
Much
right.
more exciting. But if you know the film, I see what they're doing, but still, yeah, you're right. It's impossible to determine what's really happening in the film.
Right,
But he
right.
is it's very dramatic. It's more dramatic to do stuff in the rain, right? In romantic films. And I think they're playing off that where they're having it kind of rain, glittery
Yeah.
water in front of him. But yeah, and the neon triangle couldn't be more 80s, right? I mean,
No, definitely. But also, it doesn't look very safe. It's in the water. I mean, that's Phil. I mean, he might get electrocuted there.
and
Be
at some
careful,
point,
Phil.
like a Mayan mask gets superimposed over
Yeah.
Phil's face. And same at the end, it ends on the mask. Now, granted, a decent part of this takes place, I think, at Chichen Itza in Mexico.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, it's it's a movie video. It's not spectacular. It's not at least a completely boring performance video, but it is a totally confusing video to those who haven't seen the film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Rachel Ward, James Woods, and Jeff Bridges were not forced to like do backup dancing to him in the triangle.
Oh yeah, it's no Billy Ocean when the going gets tough. If I think what we're going for there, yes,
100%.
All right, so that's everything I have for Against All Odds. Smash hits.
Same.
80s sounding, 80s looking in the video.
Yeah.
And definitely of the time with that overwrought, melodramatic thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk Young Turks for a minute, shall we?
All right, let's talk Young Turks.
And Young Turks is like, critics say this song right here is Rod Stewart's transition to new wave synth pop sound of the 80s. Now, to me, I didn't catch that. I was like,
no.
It's got a little synth in it, for sure. Like if I refresh listeners' minds, like you got this. So it is synthy. It's very early 80s, so it doesn't have the same kind of synth sound as maybe an 84, 85 song might have.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, I'm going to give it to him. It's the synth sound of the early 80s.
Right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So that was him. He's come from the 60s. He's morphed into the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And in the 70s, oh my God, I read, maybe you read this same thing, where somebody said critics felt he had, quote, been led astray forever by the glitter of the disco ball, end quote, after Do You Think I'm Sexy?
Right.
That old song. And I thought that was hilarious. But here he is trying again. Critics kind of were laughing at him for trying to chase trends rather than set trends. Like, oh, this happens, I'm going to change my style in the 70s. Oh, this is happening, I'm going to change my style in the 80s. You could see that as being a chameleon and kind of fitting in, or apparently some critics thought of it as pathetic. I don't think of it as pathetic. I mean, I think it's sad when you can't adapt, maybe, to what's happening.
There are a great many artists, some of whom we've talked about on the show, who...
Like Heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah, who changed.
That's
so
right.
It's weird. There's something about Rod Stewart that makes people want to pile on him. I don't know what it is.
I mean, maybe it's because he's, he asked us if we thought he was sexy.
Yeah.
And that's not a question you ask somebody.
No.
Hey.
Well, then let's try it out. Joe, do you think I'm sexy?
I mean, no.
Yeah, see, it's you're
and stop
setting yourself up.
Me.
You're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you have? You like to look up stuff about the origin of the song. What do you have for me on that?
Well, all right. So I can tell you, I don't have a lot of like a good story about the song, but I can tell you it was composed by Carmine Appice, Dwayne Hitchings, and Kevin Sevigar, with lyrics written by Rod Stewart.
Okay. I've never heard of those other players, but
really, you're not a big Carmine Appice fan?
I just know that Dwayne Hitchings and Kevin Sevigar play keyboard.
Oh, there you go.
Carmine Appice is his drummer? That's it.
Could be.
That's what I know.
All right. I know that one of these guys at one point, I don't remember if it was a drummer or keyboardist, in the course of the video, like turns and gives kind of a wink to the camera, and I'm like, all right, settle down, Carmine.
Calm yourself down there, Chief.
Yeah. I can tell you that Billboard said that this song was the kind of song Stewart is best at, melodic, lyrical, and a bit harder than a ballad.
Just a little bit harder, yeah.
Yeah, while Record World said that Stewart hitches onto a brisk beat and trades in his vocal gravel for an attractive light tenor.
Oh, that's nice. Well, and, I think the critics were a little tough on him for this whole led forever astray by the glitter of the disco ball. And they called him Rod the Mod, saying that he was dressing like a dandy or something. I'm like, this is so weird. That they
Was he also perhaps called Rod the Bod?
Oh, is that possible? I didn't read that, but
I seem to remember it but I mean it's also entitled because Rod rhymes with both mod and bod, so I think it's entirely possible he was called both.
Why not? Let's just say that it is. Now,
Rod the Mod Bod.
Joe, this is a song where the title is never actually said.
That's right.
In
Not
the lyrics.
once. I mean, you thought Against All Odds dangled the title in front of you, but this one never uses it. It says Young Hearts.
Yeah.
But and so why not call the song Young Hearts? Why not just why say Young Turks?
Yeah, I'll be honest here. I never knew the title of this song was Young Turks.
Oh, really?
Until this podcast.
I did know that, but it mystified me.
I never saw it written down anywhere. And then when I saw, what's this Young Turks? I don't think I know it. And then I played it and I was like, oh, got it.
Young Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because again, there's a distinct lack of Turks in the song. There's no Turking happening.
At least, Turkeys or Turkish people don't appear to be in it.
No.
Turks, in this case, is slang for rebellious youth who go against societal norms.
Look at you knowing your definitions.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You are an A+ student, Keith.
So there are plenty of Turks.
I personally, I have an. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's plenty of Turks in this song if you go with that definition.
That's true. That's true.
But what do you have for me?
I do have an experiential hook with this song because I remember and here's where it gets fuzzy because I know that this song came out in '81, which is 2 years before Friday Night Videos, but I have a distinct memory of staying over at my grandparents' house with my sister and cousin, and this song coming on. Maybe it was on the radio, but I remember the three of us singing it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it made a big impression then, which said impression has left me in the years subsequent.
Yeah, but it had a positive kind of association for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the weird thing here, right? This came out in, I guess it came out the same year as MTV, right? So
yeah,
it was featured prominently, the video we're going to talk about here in a moment, in MTV's really early rotation. And
it seems like it would be.
It's crazy to read this number, and I looked at it twice to make sure it was correct.
Okay.
Rod Stewart had around 40 of MTV's 200 videos in rotation at the time. Where the hell did 40 come from? Where did he get 40 videos from? I don't know the answer.
Idea. It's like a director's cut of this video someplace, or
did he go back and release videos for like Maggie May and stuff, for like just performance videos? I don't know.
No idea.
I ran out of time to chase that number down, but
that is
I saw
staggering.
it 2 different places. But so if he was actually, responsible for 20% of MTV's fucking videos at one time in the early year, that is truly insane.
I'm sure the kids in the audience were like, "Okay, we get it."
So what do you have on the video?
Okay, so while Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now, has a very confusing video to me, Young Turks is real straightforward. The song itself tells the story of two kids who run off and start a young life together, and they're poor, but they're happy, and they have a kid, and the video just follows that. But what makes it interesting is that these two kids who are trying to start a life of their own are being hounded by the cast of Fame. Or at least what I'm perceiving as the cast of Fame.
Right.
This group of young people dancing in the street aggressively, who seem to be following this couple around, and then also trapping some poor schmo in his car at one point.
Yeah,
it's like they like trap him in his car, and then like later in the video, they're still dancing in the car, and the person still has to be in there. So these dancers are malevolent, man.
They are.
Yeah.
So I have a toy regarding this video. Do you know the
let's
toy
hear
I'm
it.
going to drop on you here?
No idea.
This video, Young Turks, has the historic distinction as being the first video containing breakdancing to be played on MTV. There is a guy who does the robot. Yes.
Yes.
He's briefly in there, a few seconds here, and then a few seconds later.
I saw him.
He's roboting his ass off, and he's the first guy, and this is the first video to ever depict any form of breakdancing on MTV.
Groundbreaking, Keith.
That's right. Well, I mean, it does make a case for it being 80s, is why I'm saying.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because it's, it's the first robot. Like, if I had MTV, that would have been the first robot I'd ever seen,
Right.
probably. So, assuming I had not turned the station, but I liked this song, so I wouldn't have.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've got a needle drop. It's kind of going along with the story of the video.
Okay.
Because I wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Yeah.
Right? So, here we go. My needle drop. Hopefully I have the number right on this. We're going to go to 320 in the song for those of you who want to follow. All right. Here we go. All right, this line right here.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'll turn this down and let it play. 10-pound baby boy.
Yeah.
Joe, you've had 2 children. Can you from memory recite their birth weights for us?
Here's the thing. No, I can't.
Does 10 sound high?
10 sounds like a very big baby. Like there
Like
was
a giant
probably
baby.
some tearing.
Right.
Because that sounds pretty big. Now, did you look up the average birth weight of?
I was relying entirely on you to know things like this.
All right, my dude.
2 kids.
All right, so here's the thing: is
I was going to put you
my
on the
wife,
spot.
I'm sure, could tell you
Yeah.
the birth weight of both of our children. I
That's all right.
cannot.
Okay, fair enough. But
I know I can tell you that it seems high. As a matter of fact, average birth weight for a full-term male baby, 7 pounds 6 ounces. So 10 pounds. That's a big
well
kid.
outside the average.
Yeah, that's a huge
Now,
baby.
As a guy who occasionally writes song parodies,
Yeah.
I'm always looking for syllabic patterns and assonance and consonants and all
Yep.
these things. But he says 10 pound.
Yeah.
He's got one syllable to work with. He could say 8 pound.
Yes.
He could say
6
9 pound, or he could say 6. Now 7, I get why he didn't say 7.
Right.
All right. So a 6 pound baby boy, right? Like,
But
all
I mean,
right,
if it's 7 pounds 6 ounces, you round that up to 8. You're good.
call it 8.
Yeah.
He went for 10. That's a jumbo child, Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't know if there was anything symbolic about that, and
I mean, just how healthy the kid was, and fuck you parents for not understanding. I don't know.
maybe that's
doesn't make
it.
sense.
Maybe the 10-pounder is so robust that no listener has to wonder if it's healthy because it's so
Right.
big.
Right. Like clearly, Patty was not smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and giving birth to a sickly child.
That could be the answer why he went with 10, because when you're writing a song, and all I do is parodies, fair enough.
Yep.
But, every, word economy, each word I try to make mean something. I try to do
course.
something with every word, even a preposition or an article, right?
Yeah. No,
And,
it's all there on purpose.
Yeah.
Every syllable.
10-pound baby boy. Anyway.
Yeah. 10
Please,
pound.
do you have more to say about the video or the story or the...
I got nothing, man. How about
Nothing
you?
else.
Anything else?
I think that is most everything I had there.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess time for me to cue bongos.
All right.
And I will remind the listeners that Phil Collins is our favorite tonight. He's a 4 seed, which is even. And Joe goes first when the favorite is even. So I will now come to you, Joseph Walk.
Okay.
What say you and why?
I mean, I'm going with Phil Collins. It just if you're looking for an '80s sound, I would pick him. I would also say that, Phil Collins, like No Jacket Required alone was a legendary 80s album, and then you add all the other stuff that he did on top of it, and how he stayed huge into the 90s. Well, I mean, Rod Stewart really didn't. He was more winding down.
I would say that this decade was his end point, but he had been huge in the 70s. So
Yeah. I mean,
so I think he still fits your definition of a legend.
He does.
Yeah.
But I think if they're both legends, one becoming a legend, one winding up as legend, then those will balance each other out. And I'm going to go with the more 80s sounding song, which is definitely, to me, Against All Odds. Take a look at me now.
All right, there you have it, folks. It's a vote for Phil Collins, and now I will weigh in and I'll say more of my definition of the 80s legend was coming to prominence in the 80s, which Phil definitely did, and then sticking around and making a difference throughout the whole decade, which he did, having hits all the way to 89 and beyond. But he filled the decade. He had the most hits of the decade. This song is a pretty good, it may not be his 80s-esque song, but it's pretty fucking 80s sounding.
Yeah.
And I have experiential ties to it as well. So I'm going also with Against All Odds. Take a look at me now. And I think Rod Stewart is against all odds for winning this one. What do you think? Will he get a vote?
I do not think this is going to be a Bob Seger-esque drubbing. Here's my prediction. I'm going like 2/3 to 1/3 votes going in favor of Phil.
I'm feeling 80-20 here.
All right. I
but
respect
we'll
that.
see.
I respect
We'll
that.
see. But two of us went with Phil.
That's right, but other people might not. And whether you are with us or against us, you're going to let us know on our Substack by going to the 80sest.substack.com. That's where we talk. That's where you can tell us why you're voting and when you voted and how you voted and who you voted.
Yep.
And there you go. You can also find us on Blue Sky by searching for the 80s Est podcast.
That's right, folks. And we keep the podcast on Spotify, Apple, and Google, and all of our playlists that we use to do all of this voting. We keep them all organized and together under our account, the 80s-Est
That's
on
right.
Spotify. So please give us a share. Follow us if you aren't already. And we would love
why
for
would
you
you
to
not
subscribe.
follow us? Why?
Yeah, you should be following. You
We're
should be
follow-worthy.
subscribe to that podcast and get it automatically downloaded to your phone so that you can drive to us or shop to us or whatever it takes.
That's right.
But
Or just let us play when you're done listening to Heather Cox Richardson.
that could be
and it
when
bleeds
you
into us
listen.
afterwards.
That would be great. Great
Yeah.
segue. Yeah. From things that matter to things that don't.
That's right.
I mean, it's perfect.
We're also consequential, right? Are we
Sure.
not? No, we're not? Shit.
Well, anyway, that's all the time we're going to have for today. But please join us next time on the 80sest when we're going to knock out our next matchup in the Michael Jackson region. 6-seed Free Fallin' by Tom Petty versus 11-seed Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. Will Petty and Nicks finally break the cycle of dragging each other's hearts around, or will they go batshit crazy on each other again? Find out next time on the 80sest. Until then, on behalf of Joe Walk, this is Keith Marsteller saying...
Actually, Keith,
keep
sorry.
your feet-
Yeah. But real quickly, you mentioned batshit, and earlier the whole Ozzy thing came up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That is something that really happened, okay? It was a real bat, but he thought it was a fake bat. So he kind of picked it up, and he kind of almost as a bit took a bite out of it. Turned out to be very real, but also the bat investigations have turned up that the people who brought the bat to the concert, it was dead to begin with.
I mean, that is, disgusting and unsanitary. How did he not just puke right there on the stage?
So disgusting. I mean, yeah, I would have definitely hurled.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad,
Massive
did you know
chunks.
that, the house I grew up in, out of the lake there, is actually situated directly above a bat cave?
Whoa, wait. This sounds familiar. It's giving middle class Heartland Wayne Manor.
Yes, that's it. You got it.
Yeah.
I was definitely a Heartland Bruce Wayne. We had a dedicated set of protective equipment for catching bats because they'd get into our house all summer long.
Of course.
Someone opens a door, in comes a bat. Anyway, while running summer evenings, I've been hit in the face by bats on countless occasions. One even hit me in the mouth, which was partially open. So I'm basically Ozzy.
Yeah, this is a cool story, bro. I am doing the science in my head, and my theory is that the massive size of your nose creates its own gravity well, and the resulting miniature black hole breaks the bat's innate sonar systems, rendering your face invisible to them.
Man, fuck you, dude.
Look, man, you wrote it, motherfucker.
But actually, X IR cubed sine theta. That's actually not a terrible theory, Joe.
Look, Keith, you were born with that proboscis. It's not your fault.
Don't start that shit again, motherfucker.
Again, you wrote it.
What is the one question that you hate being asked?
What do bats taste like? I had to go to the hospital afterwards, and they started giving me rabies shots. And I had one in each rear, and I had to have that every night.
And it was on the news that Ozzy bit the head off a bat, and then it just spread like wildfire.
But you actually, or you did, maybe you didn't actually bite.
Well, it was a sheer accident, actually, because I got a lot of...
Well, wait a minute. Before you start explaining it, let's tell them what you did. Bit the head off a bat. There, I said it.
It wasn't. What actually happened was I got a lot of weird people at my concerts, like, it's kind of rock and roll, Somebody threw a bat on stage, and I thought it was one of these toy bats. So I picked it up, bite the thing's head off, and suddenly everybody's freaking out because it's a real bat.
So it was, for all practical purposes, a toy bat.
Yeah, but I can assure you the rabies shots that I went through afterwards aren't fun.
No, they're painful, I understand.
Very painful.
Now, did you know immediately, not having bitten into...
Well, I've eaten some pretty rough chicken on the road, but Colonel Saunders, how many chickens do you think he put to death? He didn't bite the heads up, but everybody else did.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the kind of, not a panic, but there was a lot of chatter about this when this happened way back.
Oh, I remember it very well, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ozzy's not the easiest person to understand his voice.
No, he's a bit mumbly, especially in his later years.
Colonel Sanders killing many more chickens than he killed bats, etc. Yeah. I kind of always thought it was urban legend, and and until now, I thought it was urban legend. It turns out it truly did happen. I don't know. Were you aware? Did you think it really happened?
I had no idea. I didn't put enough thought into it to wonder if it was bullshit. But I mean, it makes sense to me that it seems very on brand that he would just be like, and bite the head off something
and
without
just pick up
taking
something
a look at it first. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, sorry, if someone throws something on stage, I'm probably not going to immediately put it in my mouth.
That's right. He famously, according to the Motley Crue memoir, snorted a line of fire ants by a swimming pool while hanging out with Motley Crue once. So, I mean, it was depicted in a movie called The Dirt about Motley Crue. So, he got a couple of incidents at least where he's done some really questionable consumption of things. But yeah, the rabies shots, dude, a whole series of rabies shots sounds really not great.
Do you think he learned a lesson from that?
I I mean, maybe one very specific lesson to not chew on something that someone throws on stage. Maybe.
I'm gonna guess he kept on chewing. I'm gonna guess people threw like all kinds of shit up on stage.
I mean, once he did it once, and then you're going to an Ozzy concert, wouldn't you throw all kinds of shit up there just to see what happens?
To see if he would, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'd love to hear if what folks remember about this. I think it was in Iowa in '82. I can't remember what city, but somewhere in the heartland, some young metalheads got to witness that live. But let us know if you remember anything about that. But otherwise, thanks a lot, Joe. That's our show for tonight.
All right, man.
So have a great night, everybody.
I will talk to you soon, and have a good night yourself.